a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And we're blessed and highly favored here in studio, bringing you the show as always, being your consumer advocate, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Gregory Tily in the house, mortgage expert contributor, a veteran, an Apache helicopter pilot. Got a great resume here. We're going to talk about his business, also the state of the market, what's going on. U.S. pending home sales index slides to a record low on high interest rates. So we'll talk with Greg on that, as well as Derek Kobel in the house, Right Way Public Adjusting. What is a public adjuster? When do you need one? What are the questions that you need to be asking your insurance providers and companies? Also, Gunnar Braniecki, Home Security and Automation. We're going to be talking with Gunnar coming up as well on the program. Feel good story of the day. We always like to tell you something good here on the show, and this one's a pretty good one here. We got a man that with locked-in syndrome completes 50,000 word book using just his eyes. So kind of an interesting story. We'll break that down for you here on the program as well. Want to invite you to our gratitude party, our third Thursday every month party that we have. Thursday, July 18th, 6 o'clock over at Kingmakers. Alex, what a good time. I'm ready to do it, man.
Yeah, man. I know the more we talk about it, the more antsy I'm getting. It's right around the corner, too, man. So I'm looking forward to it. We've had fun every single one we've done, so. Thursday,
July 18th, 6 o'clock, food and drinks provided. We're going to have a great time. And it's a pretty cool workspace, too. Co-workspace. Mike Murphy is offering up his location for us. Co-workspace. It's got bar in there. It's got TVs, green rooms, conference rooms. Really cool. So save the date. Thursday, July 18th, 6 o'clock. You're invited, and you'll meet our expert contributors on the radio show and have a good time with us. It'll be a lot of fun.
Might want to throw the address out there, too, for them.
Throw the address out there at Carmen. Yeah, so this one's on Carmen, 3707 West Carmen Street, and it's Kingmakers, Tampa. It's right off of Del Mabry. Great location right here in South Tampa, just south of I-275. All right, a couple of hot listings here. 3101 Archer. This is one of my favorite listings because it's 90 units. We've got 90 units, pre-construction luxury condos in Gainesville, and it's just a great opportunity. We're selling the commercial space down below as well on the lower level. Pre-construction pricing, 10% off of retail. Now, you're starting in the 400s up to the 900s. You've got an EB5 approved community, 1 mile from the University of Florida, Shands Medical, Butler Plaza, and it's a great opportunity to own high-end luxury condos in Gainesville, Florida. Pre-construction pricing, 3101 Old Archer Road, Unit 209, Gainesville, Florida. Resort-style, temperature-controlled pool, accompanied with cabanas, grills, gourmet chef's kitchen. So much to offer here from this beautiful listing. We're working with the developer up there. It's a great opportunity in Tampa Bay. All right. Croft Drive North, Largo, 13651 Croft Drive North in Largo. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1,066 square feet. You're minutes from the beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. Upgraded luxury vinyl flooring throughout, naturally lit, a beautiful property here. I love the decor. I love the color scheme, the lighter color kitchen countertops, and the color scheme looks great here. Croft Drive North, Largo. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. So I start with that clip. I'm raising my glass. I start with that clip almost every show because, when you think about our veterans, man, Greg, welcome in, by the way. Welcome to the show, Greg Tillery. Veteran, served the country, and retired Lieutenant Colonel. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon. Glad to be here. Love what you're doing here. I love that clip.
Thank you.
It takes me back to my West Point days as a plebe.
Oh, yeah. Point. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's funny how music can do that, right?
Oh,
It'll bring you back to a certain area, a certain time, a certain, situation sometimes. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, I love that clip from Cole Swindell, I think that is, raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas. That's right. So we appreciate it. So you're in studio here, and we're going to be talking about the real estate industry, the mortgage industry. Let's start with that. Kind of what's your overall thoughts on where things are going right now?
So it depends on what metrics you use. Some people use these metrics. Some people use these metrics. If I were to tell you, where I would have thought interest rates would have been last year, I would have thought we would have been lower.
Right.
But, the economy gets a vote.
Yep.
And those who are doing the adjusting get the vote as well. But as an aviator, hey, I always questioned my forecaster when I flew.
Right.
And a forecast is just that, a forecast. It's a highly intelligent guess of what's going to happen in the future. And
I like that.
We'll see if I believe we're going to see definitely one interest rate drop this year, if not two. At least that's what the Fed is saying.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens. Before the year turned, we were looking at 4.
Right.
So we're down to 2. Possibly only 1. But
there goes Janet Yellen. I think it was her idea of transitory inflation, right? I think it throws that whole idea out the window.
Well, that depends on how you define transitory, too.
Okay.
Right?
There
because
you go.
Transitory means, temporary. What's your definition of temporary?
Okay. Good
temporary
point.
could be a year, could be 2 years. Temporary could be 20 years. So
sounded good at the time.
It
sounded good at the time, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of us sign up to the transitory.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So you do a lot of you focus a lot of your business on veterans, helping veterans. Tell us a little bit more about that with the veteran.
Yeah, well, I spent 20 years in the military. I retired as a lieutenant colonel out of Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. So I resonate with the military community. My network is my West Point community and my military community moving in and around the country. A lot of people will say, well, there's still people buying. Well, yeah, military members move every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So, absolutely. Would you rather rent or would you buy? I mean, of course, everybody's financial situation's different. But for the most part, why pay someone else's mortgage when you can just pay yours? Yeah.
I've heard a story, and you probably have something to echo this, but I've heard a story about a veteran. He owns, at this point in his career, I think it's like 20 different residences. You can buy one, you live in it. You can do up to 4 units. That's classified as residential, right? So you're getting 100% financing. I mean, just think about this. If you have a friend, family, uncle, whoever that you know in your network, think about this. If you're able to buy 100% financing, you buy a triplex, a duplex, a quad, you live in one side, you rent the other, and you do that multiple times over your career, what a retirement plan, right?
VA home hacking, absolutely. When I was a young officer, and I remember this sitting in Iraq in 2003, this guy told me, you need to buy at every place you PCS. Buy a place. Every time you have a permanent change of station, buy a property. Go to the next property, rent that one out, and just keep building your portfolio. And, hindsight being 20/20, he was right.
Yep.
I didn't do that.
Yep.
I did a loan for him about 3 years ago, and he's got 5 properties paid off.
Nice.
A lot of passive income coming in.
Wow.
So, smart. So when I get on the phone with young Army or military folks, I always tell them, hey, this is a great thing to do. Like you're saying, buy a multiplex, live in one side, have the other 3 pay for your mortgage. You're living, basically, you're living free.
Yeah, rent free, man.
And then do that
Mortgage
for the
free.
next, 4 places you go.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of passive income in a couple of years.
Great idea. If you just joined us, we're talking with Gregory Tily here. His company is UMortgage Veterans Alliance, and local area business owner. Again, support your local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our 80 different categories, over 40 different show partners now associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show. We bring on great attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, self-defense, home service providers, doctors, and on and on. We've got our car industry experts, all the different people. So we want you to save our hotline number and think of us as a resource. Save that number in your phone, 727-263-3707, 727-263-3707. Just save that number in your phone. At some point, maybe you don't need advice now. Maybe you don't need to be connected to a great attorney now. But at some point in the future, you will. Again, home service providers, mortgage, real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, all of those different areas. Save our number as your super connector. Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win. Talk to us. When you think about some of the misnomers, I like to get into the misnomers. Like, what are people thinking out there? What are some of the different questions you get on a consistent basis?
Well, a lot of times, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of misinformation on VA loans out there. I've had everything from, well, I'm not active duty, I can't use my VA loan. Wrong. I've used my VA loan before. Can't use it again.
Okay.
Wrong. I already have 1 property under my VA loan. I can't get 2. I can't utilize my VA loan with 2 properties. Oh, you can use your VA loan with many properties. It just depends how, your certificate of eligibility allows you to.
Nice.
And the county loan limits. The other one is, hey, I want to buy a $2 million property, but my county loan limit is $766,550.
Yeah.
I can't go higher than that. Oh, absolutely can. If you have your full eligibility, you can buy a $4 million property, no money down.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is crazy.
Wow.
And then I always get VA buyers or weak buyers. I would argue VA buyers are smart buyers. Why would you want to put money into a house? So go put it in the stock market.
Yeah.
Right? You're probably going to make more than 7%, 6.5% probably what VA rates are, give or take, a half or a quarter percent. You can make more than that, and why pay down your mortgage?
Right.
Make money in the stock market, and your interest rate's lower than conventional. So again, VA buyers are not weak buyers; they're smart buyers.
Yeah, there's a kind of a misnomer floating out there amongst the real estate community. You hear that from time to time. Now, why would they say that? Is it something to do with the appraisal, the inspection? Why would they say that? What's their thoughts?
Well, I think when you see no money down, right, they first of all assume, they don't have money to put down, that's weak. And then there's fear about the VA appraisal.
Okay.
Right? Oh, the VA appraisal is tougher. It's not. Or I get this, the VA appraisers are tougher.
Got it.
Well, what defines a VA appraiser, right? That guy that's doing that VA appraisal, he's licensed to do VA appraisals. Tomorrow, he'll probably do a conventional appraisal.
He's licensed to do everything.
He's
Pretty
licensed
much.
to do everything. Right? So, and they're just doing their diligence to take care of the veteran to make sure that home, that property is livable.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to make sure that property you're buying is livable, right? Taking care of the veteran. The minimum property requirements, they're not, I don't think anyone wants to buy a house with, anything violating those minimum property requirements anyway. But if it does not check one of those blocks, you can always ask the VA for a waiver. If the veteran acknowledges it, hey, one step to get over that is, hey, let's ask the VA for a waiver. The other thing is the thing that the VA has is something we call Tidewater. So if I have a conventional loan and the appraiser goes out and they're not getting to value, they don't tell you. They don't have to tell you. You get the appraisal back and, you're $20K under.
Wow.
Wow, that's darn it. But where the VA dictates is if that appraiser's not getting to value, he's required to call out a Tidewater, which is allowing you as, the lender and the two realtors to help him get it to value. So if he's reaching out saying, hey, I don't think I'm getting there. I might be missing something. Can you guys help me out?
Got it.
A lot of times that might come back at value.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will come back, still under value, or it can come back over value.
Yeah.
I've had it come where appraiser calls Tidewater, and a week later we get it back, and it's now $15K over.
Yep.
We helped them out, which is perfect, which is exactly why we do it. And then if it does come in under, we have other means, right? We can request a reconsideration of value through the VA. The veteran can write a letter and explain why, he thinks that value needs to be where it is. And I will tell you, out of the past 12 ROVs, reconsideration of values, I've worked with the veteran on, we've gotten 11.
Yeah.
And the one we didn't get, it was like 110K over.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want to get it.
under.
You want to make sure you're coming in at where you need to be. Sometimes they're overlooking a comparable. There's a lot of things that can happen. Maybe the appraiser had a bad day. A lot of challenges.
Correct.
As we know in the real estate, mortgage, title, insurance business. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of challenges that happen, and sometimes you got to tackle those situations head on. We got to take a quick break there here, but we're talking with Gregory Tily in studio with us, mortgage expert contributor. Reach out to the show, support the local economy, and we're diving deep on veteran loans as well here on the show. Plus, we have a feel-good story of the day. This man with locked-in syndrome completes 50,000 word book using just his eyes. Feel-good story of the day coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We have over 60 current listings helping you buy, sell, or invest here in Tampa Bay. 60 current listings, and we feature our listings live on air on the program. If you're thinking about selling, we'd love to talk to you. Buying, selling, or investing, reach out. PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. 3615 C. Robin, another beautiful listing, just listed, just hit the market here. St. Petersburg, Coquina Key area. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,485 square feet, remodeled single family home. This one has beautiful remodeled, completed, beautiful lighter colors. People love those lighter colors. Got some unique backsplash there. Great opportunity to own in St. Petersburg, one of the hot markets in Tampa Bay, of course, St. Petersburg as well. Perfectly situated, just 10 minutes from downtown St. Pete, and you're less than 15 minutes from the world-famous Gulf beaches. Check out 3615 C. Robin Drive, Southeast St. Petersburg, Florida. Another one of our beautiful real estate listings here in Tampa Bay. All right, I love this Gulf Boulevard listing. This one on Gulf Boulevard is just a great opportunity. We just did a price improvement, and the owner is motivated. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,000 square feet, Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores, 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F. This is something that you can short-term rent. You can do a short-term rental here, Airbnb, and it's only $250 a month as far as the HOA. Can you believe that? $250 a month for a $1 million listing right here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. All right. So Lee's Royal Services, a quick shout out to Lee and his team. He is our local handyman. He's also cleaning service. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. You can check him out online. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Home and office cleaning. He does a great job as well. I can tell you firsthand experience. He cleans our properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we're talking with Gregory Tily here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Greg, on you've got a lot of interesting stats here too. Tell me about some of these recent stats that you're looking at.
Yeah, so HUD did some assessment and did some analysis, and they said, a third of veterans that bought a home did not realize they had VA eligibility, or it wasn't even brought up to them, right? They said their loan officer didn't even discuss it with them. Like half of them, 33% didn't even know they had it. 50% of loan officers, which is a great benefit to veterans, didn't even bring it up to them as an option.
Now, could that be commission-based advice?
It depends on the company. It could be 100% could be.
Yep.
But 88% of loan officers, and this is an Ellie Mae stat, do 3 or less VA loans a year.
Wow.
So that is huge, right? I did what every Army officer did. I called a big bank, not understanding, that, maybe veteran in their name isn't really taking care of veterans. It's a marketing employee to get veterans to call them.
Exactly.
Right? And if things get hairy, they're not going to continue and try to help you out. If it gets hairy, they're going to close up shop and say, sorry, we can't help you. And I think it's very important to work with someone that speaks veteran, right? So if the underwriter conditions for something from the commander or from their unit or orders that don't make sense, I can run that up the flagpole. I know, because I was in the military 20 years. I know what, the underwriter's asking for and how to properly tell that client what to do with his commander,
right, or
what documents we do need.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge, right? As a real estate agent, I would definitely want my clients to work with someone, especially if they're a veteran, that speaks veteran. I think that'll help. The home buying process is stressful.
Yeah,
right?
It can be.
It can be very stressful.
Yep.
Why add to it with someone that doesn't, speak veteran or confuses VA with different loan options? So
yeah. He's our local expert. He's our veteran go-to lender, and we're talking with Gregory Tily here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Local economy, support the local economy. What's the best way? Do you like to get face-to-face with folks? Do you do Zooms? Do you do over the phone? How do you prefer to do consultations?
So I would tell you the majority of my time with consultations are over the phone. We will Zoom if the clients are more comfortable, but I like efficiency. Right? Yeah. I don't want my client to drive a half hour and then meet with me for an hour and then drive back home for a half hour if they don't have to. If I can make it easy for them, I will. Some clients prefer to meet face to face. I'm okay with that. Absolutely would not meet a client. But Zoom is easy if they request that as well. So all forms, but I would tell you the majority are via cell phone.
Okay, and do you do loans in multiple states?
I do. Absolutely. I'm licensed in pretty much every state that has an Army post.
There you go. I like that.
And that's just because my military network moving in and around. So I have to be, eligible to do those loans in those areas.
Yeah, I'd like our audience to get you personally as well. Talk a little bit about your beautiful family here.
Yeah, so, I was in the military 20 years, and I met my wife when I was in, and, I had to make a good sales pitch for her to marry me while I was in the military, so I'm very sensitive to that. Moved her from Syracuse to Fort Leavenworth, middle of America, and that was her first taste of the military. And she, again, didn't know much about the military. A lot of people don't. My daughter was born when I was in Afghanistan, and I've been all over. Fort Rucker, South Korea, Savannah, Richmond, Fort Monmouth, West Point. I understand that the military person is moving a ton.
Absolutely.
And I definitely understand that, and I'm very sensitive to that, and I think that's where I add value as well.
Yeah,
on
man.
The VA side.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely think that that's a situation where, especially when you're looking at the veteran side, I mean, there's so much opportunity, as we talked about before, the investor side. Reach out, change your life, change someone else's life right now. 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Greg Tily, thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate being here. I love what you're doing, Brandon. Thank you.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And coming up, Derek Kobel, we're going to talk about public adjusting. What is it? What are the things to consider? And what are conversations you may want to have with your insurance agent or company? Coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win. A quick shout out as well to Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Awesome food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez and Joey, the general manager over there. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They'll hook you up with an appetizer, and they might even throw in a free water with lemon if you talk nice to them. So we'll take care of you over there. All right, Derek Kobel in the house. We're talking about working with insurance companies. What are the effects also of the one-way attorney's fees? What does that even mean? One-way attorney's fees. What is a public adjuster? That's coming up here in just a minute. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here from the team. 7325 Skybird. This one is in Bradenton, Florida, Manatee County. Great opportunity to own a beautiful condo, 20 square foot condo with lake views, open floor plan, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1 car garage. You have an 81-foot lagoon-style heated pool. Clubhouse, fitness center, catering kitchen, and more. 7325 Skybird Road, number 399, Bradenton, Florida. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team. 1922 Fiesta. We got an affordable townhome here in Tampa Bay. Another great opportunity. Gated community. You got that privacy from a gated community. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, almost 1,300 square feet townhome in Las Palmas. Townhomes in Tampa, Las Palmas in Tampa. Living room sliders lead out to a fenced-in backyard and deck. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1,300 square feet, 1922 Fiesta Ridge Court. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Derek Kobel, welcome back, sir.
It's great to be here again, man. Let's give the people something good today.
Let's tell them something good. Let's give them some insights. Let's help them win as a consumer, as we say, make them more street smart. What do we need to know about public adjusting, man?
Yeah, man. So what I've been seeing, I've been doing a lot of inspections recently, re-inspections. So when you file a claim, the insurance company sends out an adjuster. And, as I've mentioned before, that adjuster cannot represent both you and the insurance company. So as a private adjuster, I go out and meet the opposing adjuster, point out all the damages to make sure that they're aware of what's present at the property. What I'm finding is a lot of insurance companies don't want to pay claims. So what they're doing is they're actually assigning engineers to these properties to confirm that the damage is actually from a windstorm or whatever event that is being claimed for that, insurance claim. And man, I had an inspection with an engineer yesterday who was trying to tell me that ripped and missing shingles were just from mechanical damage, so which means somebody is going on the roof and ripping those shingles or pulling them up. So the insurance company is sending out an expert to determine where that damage is coming from, and their response is it is mechanical and it's from a human actually going up on the roof and causing that damage, which obviously would result in a claim being denied.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so they're saving dollars for the company. They're working against the consumer. How do you see that playing out? How does that play out?
Man, it's honestly, I feel bad for homeowners, and that's why I do what I do, because most people that I talk to who are going through the claims process have so many questions because they have no idea what to do. They see an initial payment or they see a denial letter and they give up. They don't feel that they can pursue any further. But our job is to make sure that these homeowners know that they have the option to continue to pursue the claim and not give up. Unfortunately, these insurance companies are a business, right? It's a business, and the one thing you don't want to do as a business is lose money. And we pay our premiums every year, but when you file a claim, the insurance company then is going to be responsible for paying that, which obviously they're going to lose money. So how do they prevent that? They deny claims. They try to hire experts that advocate on behalf of the insurance company, not you as the consumer.
Yep. And
the job of those vendors that are being sent out, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. So they're going to provide whatever report they feel is going to, for the most part, benefit the person that's hiring them, so to speak.
Oh, absolutely. Bite the hand that feeds you. I mean, there's a lot of metaphors we could use there.
Yeah.
And you think about one-way attorney's fees, the way it changed. Look, I love Ron DeSantis as well, but this might be one thing they have on him as far as, I don't know I haven't researched the entire thing. So, any pundits but think about what it did to the consumer, okay? The way the insurance industry has changed, right? So we went from, hey, if you don't pay the claim, you're going to get sued, and then you're going to owe part of the attorney's fees. It's going to be a lawsuit. It's going to jack up cost. I get that side of it. Now, when you have one-way attorney's fees, as we do now, and I want you to explain that for me, please. You're pulling away the teeth. You're taking the teeth out of the bite.
Right. And attorneys are truly, so as a public adjuster, we can help negotiate and present your claim to the insurance company. The problem is if they deny the claim or send out an engineer and we come to a roadblock, we cannot force the insurance company to pay. That's what the attorneys are for. So when we get to that point of the claims process, it used to be, hey, if the attorneys are able to recover even a penny more, at least from what I understood, if they're able to recover a penny more, their fees are covered by the insurance company because they forced you to hire an attorney.
Right.
Now they got rid of that. So if you have to file for a lawsuit against the insurance company, even if they're in the wrong, you still owe your own attorney's fees, which is typically a percentage of the claim on top of, what my fee would be and their deductible. Which is extremely harmful.
And they'll probably want money out of pocket, too, to fund it in a lot of cases, right?
Well, a law firm, just like most law firms, if they're good, just like public adjusters, we don't get paid until the claim is resolved. So attorneys usually wait. So once the claim's settled, the attorney takes their fees, we take our fees, and then what's left is for the homeowner. But at that point, it's unfortunate if a claim is legit, which I only handle legit claims, and that claim gets denied. Now that homeowner doesn't just have, my fee and their deductible to worry about. Now they had to get an attorney involved because the insurance company wrongfully denied the claim. And that just hurts the consumer because now they're out of pocket. So it's crucial to document your claim from the beginning. So you are telling the insurance company what they owe you instead of them setting the bar.
Got it. Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Derek Kobel, Right Way Public Adjusting here in Tampa Bay. Another great example of our consumer quarterback show, and our mantra around here is helping consumers, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here. Derek, what else do we need to know, man? You got any interesting stories? There's also, of course, hurricane, down south. What's happening there?
Yeah, so, Hurricane Beryl, as of today, July 2nd, Hurricane Beryl maintained a Category 5 throughout the night, which is impressive, especially in June or July even, as early as we are. There's a high-pressure system right now that's sitting right around Louisiana, Florida, that's preventing that storm from curving up north. But if that does shift a little, we are seeing now some of those tracks may hit South Texas, maybe even to Louisiana, but they don't know. I just settled a claim from Hurricane Ian. My one of my clients received about $230,000 for their damage. They lived on an island down south. And we got involved, and we just settled. It's taken so long. They've switched adjusters. We just settled their claim for $735,000. So we were able to recover almost $500,000 more than what the insurance company originally was trying to settle at. And it's because we were able to get out there and really show the insurance company that they missed a significant amount of damage and they weren't writing to repair that property properly.
Yeah. Man, that's a success story if I ever heard one, helping a client get $500,000 more. Which island was that? Are you able to?
Yeah, Gasparilla Island.
Gasparilla Island.
Yeah, there's no cars, nothing on that. There's four-wheelers and golf carts. The only way out there is by boat.
Wow.
It's actually pretty cool because everybody has a boat. There's a Publix and all stores that you can get to by boat. It's actually a really good community.
Wow, that's really neat. Is that Charlotte County?
Englewood. Down there. So
okay.
Lee County. No, Lee is south.
Yeah,
Charlotte County.
Either Charlotte or the one right above it there. Close to like Venice, Englewood.
Yep. Great area, man.
We're talking with Derek Kobel here, working with insurance companies. The thing is, a lot of times we talk to our insurance agent, maybe once a year if we're lucky. We just renew the insurance policies. What else we need to think about when we're thinking about this topic of insurance and coverages and deductibles?
Yeah, so I've had my house now for 8 years, and I haven't heard from my agent one time in 8 years, but my coverage has changed. And if you don't know what you're looking for, most people think, everyone's going to show their best cards when they're trying to sell you something, right? So when you're buying a property, when you're looking for insurance, they're going to say, hey, we can get you a good deal here. You just have to remove some coverage here and some coverage there. But most people don't truly realize what they're paying for. A lot of people are with Citizens now, but there's almost no coverage. There's a lot of people that are dealing with Citizens claims, water leaks, that they're limited to $10,000 unless they use their preferred contractors, which could be devastating to the repairs of your home. So what I would highly recommend is you get with your agent as soon as possible and you really have them break down what your coverages are. And they can always reach out to me. Yeah. Anyone can reach out to me because there are a lot of coverages that people think they have and they don't in the event that something actually happens.
Right. And there's also that provision in there that says you have to minimize some of the damage.
Yeah, mitigation. So it's part of the duties after a loss, which most people, I just talked to a friend earlier who was asking about their policy. I said, did you see the duties after a loss? And they said, no, what's that? The duties after a loss are your responsibilities after you have a loss on what you need to do in order to protect your property and then present your claim to the insurance company. So mitigation, as you just mentioned, is protecting your property from further damage, which is a requirement by the insurance company. So if you have damage and you don't mitigate your property by tarping your roof or drying out any wet drywall or anything along those matters, the insurance company can try to say that they are not going to pay for your claim because you did not protect your property from further damage.
Right. Yep. And man, if it's in your policy, they got you. That's
exactly.
If you didn't do what you're supposed to do, tarp the roof, etc., that is a challenge. Derek Kobel, Right Way Public Adjusting. You can find him online, rightwaypa.com, rightwaypa.com. Derek, final thought. Back to you.
No, I just, highly encourage. Being a former military vet and firefighter paramedic, I've always been in the business of helping people, and I've been dealing with a more, elderly homeowners recently who don't live here and have condos and stuff down in this area, and they have no idea what their coverage is. They don't even know who their carrier is. This morning I talked to a client who I needed to send my estimator out to her property, and she said, I already had someone come out. And I said, who came out? And she said, oh, this other person that was testing for water, he already wrote an estimate. I said, no, that's a completely separate issue from our repair estimate. And people are just not knowledgeable of the claims process. So if you have a property, I would just highly recommend you make sure that you have the proper coverages. And if you have any questions about the claims process in the unfortunate event that you ever have one, just please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Call the hotline, 727-263-3707. You can call the Consumer Quarterback Show hotline, 727-263-3707. Again, another great number you might want to save in your phone for future use. We're going to be that super connector for you, put you in touch with all of our expert contributors, help save you time and money and avoid scams and make you more street smart. Bottom line, that's what we do. Consumer Quarterback Show, 11 years on air. It's a proven model, actually being featured in Florida Realtor Magazine next month as well. So that's coming out. Cool article coming out. I forgot to mention that recently, but yep. Hey, Derek, thanks for coming in, man. Those are some really good tips. Appreciate that.
I love being here, man. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right, coming up, Gunnar Braniecki. We're going to talk home security, automation, and some really cool smart home opportunities for you here coming up with Gunnar Braniecki on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win in any marketplace. And I want to let you know about our feel-good story of the day. We always tell you something good on our feel-good segment.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we got a man with locked-in syndrome, which means he's paralyzed. He completes a 50,000-word book just using his eyes. Howard Wicks, an Englishman with locked-in syndrome, completed a 50,000-word autobiography using his eye movements. After a severe stroke left him paralyzed except for his eyes, Wick used an eye-glazed computer to write his book over 18 months. The autobiography details his life before and after the stroke and his transition from the hospital to community life. Writing was both therapeutic and stressful for him. Wicks hopes the book will raise awareness for Locked In Trust, the nonprofit he founded to support others with the syndrome. He believes finishing the book was vital for his happiness and progress. Locked-in syndrome affects fewer than 1,000 Americans. There you have it, Alex. Feel good story of the day. What an awesome story, man.
That really is. That just goes to it's such a testimony to there are no limits. You know, that you may not be able to live life how you picture in your head, but maybe you need to change that picture. Maybe you need to change your perception, and you can spin things a different way. So, that guy obviously isn't, I don't know him, but, I don't know if his dream was to be like a marathon runner or something like that. But that doesn't mean that he can't, obviously what he's achieved is amazing. There's no limitations, only what you put on yourself. So that's awesome. Good for him.
I love that. I love that summarization. And it's also like, hey, you never know what God's plan is. Maybe he's meant to reach other people through that method, right? I mean, pretty cool.
It's so crazy. I was listening to a good story actually about Tim Tebow the other day, because a lot of people, some people talk crap and they're like, Tebow is such a waste. He couldn't hack in the NFL. Going back to, the higher power having a plan for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we could greatly argue that what he does right now is greater and more powerful than football.
Yeah.
So maybe he was
absolutely.
called upon to do something greater than just be a quarterback. And
I love
nothing
that.
against quarterbacks and people in the NFL, because it's tremendous talent, hard work, dedication, athletics. I love it.
Yep.
But he was obviously called to do something else. It's pretty wild.
Got to get to the phone lines. Gunnar Braniecki, Consumer Quarterback Show, expert contributor for all things security, home automation. Gunnar, how you doing, sir?
Blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I love it, man. I love it. Yes, sir. What's new at Guardian Protection? You guys do such a great job. I have firsthand experience. I completely trust Gunnar Braniecki and his team, Guardian Protection. They did a great job on my home.
I'm glad to hear it. And I'm not sure, maybe you've seen this new push we have within our video analytics. Cameras. Cameras are key and paramount in our safety, I believe, in our home systems. And we have a new feature with the video analytics that actually allows it to detect vehicles, but not just tell you that it detected a vehicle, but if you program it to know, my vehicle, my wife's vehicle, our cleaning company's vehicle, it can tell you when they arrive, when they leave. Maybe you've got a dog walker coming, it can say, Fido's dog walker has arrived. If you got a teenager or someone that you want to make sure is staying in the home at night at 1 a.m., it'll tell you, Brandon Jr.'s car left the driveway, right?
Wow.
It's a pretty cool feature.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a really new, technology spin.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. We have cleaners come every other week. It tells me easy peasy cleaner has arrived. So, even before they use their own key code, their own code to disarm our alarm system, I get notifications for that. I get the notification of they've actually got on site and when they leave. So I know if they spent 45 minutes cleaning my house or 2 hours cleaning my house. So I can kind of know what to expect when I arrive back home as far as how well they did.
Yeah, it's super awesome, Gunnar. I love the technology. I love where we're going with technology. It's almost like what's next in that space, right?
Exactly. And, like I said, the cameras are paramount to our safety this day and age. I mean, it's wonderful to know when someone's breaking into your house. It's wonderful to know that you're going to have an alarm system blaring and, knocking them off their game, letting the police know, having safety come your way. But I think that the key part of it is knowing that when something is about to happen, you can have eyes on. The cameras even make a couple different noises so that, maybe a bad guy didn't see the camera when they were first scoping out your home, but as they approach it, they get within that little border of where the camera's watching. It can make a whistle. It can make a couple different siren noises, a chirp noise. That way they look right up at it and realize, oh, crap, I'm on camera. And hopefully will prevent what could inevitably be a catastrophic event for you or your family or your home.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so it's going to chirp at you or make a little noise, and you're going to look at it and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was on camera." I think it's funny, kind of funny story too. When we're out door knocking as realtors, sometimes we'll go into the different neighborhoods and we'll door knock, and I know there's some funny videos out there where realtors have got caught talking or saying certain things at the doorbell or whatever it might be, right?
Yes, yeah. We have an Amazon guy. We have the same Amazon guy every time, and we also have a husky who lives outside most of the time. But he is not like delivery drivers. For whatever reason, he sees the Amazon truck, you would think he's the world's best guard dog. He's a cuddly little puppy, but man, one time he scared the bejesus out of our Amazon driver, and it was caught on tape. And I ended up showing it to him a couple days later, and we had a good laugh together.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. We're talking with Gunnar Braniecki here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, GuardianProtection.com, GuardianProtection.com, and also, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well. Region manager and Gunnar Braniecki. When you look at home security and automation, I just love the fact that you have the ability to watch your kids coming home. You see them come home. And by the way, let's do a PSA here. A lot of these delivery services now, the new scam, or not relatively new, I've seen the videos out, but the new scam is going to be where they're dressing up either in brown or looking like a certain company, and they're going to, right when that door opens, they're going to ring the bell. Right when that door opens, they're going to pry their way in through there, and you see 4, 5, 6 people coming around the corner. They're going to go in and loot that house or do whatever bad stuff criminals do, right?
Yep, 100%. It's something we got to watch out for. It's unfortunate, but again, I even think like when we're in a department store and I see a camera, I know I didn't steal anything or put anything in my pockets, but I have that moment where I'm like, I didn't steal anything, right? So when these bad guys are coming up and they notice the cameras, or even if they don't notice them right away and they have to have that chirp or the whistling action for them to look up at it, now we've got your face. Now, if you go do something, you're not getting away with it. It's an incredible deterrent this day and age, and I love layering the security, right? Because you got the cameras as your first and a really strong layer. But then if you got someone who is brazen or desperate enough to continue on with their goal or their task, to kick through your door or to try the scam that you just mentioned, where they just want to push through the door once you open it, you've got the alarm system there. You've got emergency panic buttons, one for fire, one for police, one for medical, that can really help you out there.
Yeah, I like that. And you go inside and you do it. And is there some kind of a remote piece that people would have if they can't get back to the panel?
Yeah, so if you can't get to your keypad, we've got the app right on the phone, and right inside the app at the very top, you can actually move them wherever you want, but I keep mine at the very top, are the panic buttons. One for, like I said, one for fire, one for police, one for medical. We also do offer a standalone panic button, one that would be almost like a wristband watch, and one that's like a pendant that can hang from your neck. So if you want something a little more secure, a little more accessible on your body that you just got to grab it and press the button, we do have those options as well.
I like that. All right, find them online, guardianprotection.com. Gunnar Braniecki, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Gunnar, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, hey, another great show. We had Gregory Tily on the program, Derek Kobel, as well as Gunnar Braniecki and Alex Black Belt Lima as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.